name is Cecilia Nadal, and I'm the Executive Director of Gitana Productions. We're doing this conference because over the last 15 years, we've discovered as an arts organization that is so important for us to understand how to enter community, how to build community, and how to bring, generally, St. Louis together.
There's so much needed kind of cross-cultural thing. I think the more we can get rid of our fears, we have fears, white people have fears, people of color have fears, and why should we be afraid of each other? And, you know, such unfounded fears.
You know, I feel like this is very important for everybody to connect and get together because, you know, it can only spread knowledge, you know, give us more knowledge on each other and actually cancel, maybe even possibly cancel our racism, you know, because St. Louis is such a conservative city, you know, with all the different races that are here, you know, we must connect, man, you know, we won't make it being segregated.
Change has come to the White House, but it needs to come to St. Louis.
St. Louis is a broad representation of America. It's in the right smack in the middle of the country, and it's an ideal representation of America. All marketing organizations use St. Louis as a test market, and it's no different for us. I think unfortunately we happen to be in St. Louis, and we believe in this cause, and I think it's absolutely critical we promote this cause.
I think the conference is going to be so exciting, particularly since we are kicking it off with Howard Ross, an internationally known speaker. What the conference is going to do is it will give the attendees, all of the arts organizations that come, it will give them an opportunity to hear an amazing man who has been doing this for years, and it gives you the opportunity to sit and think. We are all so crazy busy that we don't get to think about strategies. We don't get to think about how do we really involve our community? How do we make our institutions richer?
Cross-cultural engagement is important because it helps to increase the knowledge.
St. Louis is a city that has a lot of pockets and a lot of areas where individuals and communities are pretty isolated. The positive that comes out of COS strengthens a community.
We feel that the intercultural, or when you integrate with other cultures, you learn from them and you give something back to them. What are our strengths, and take these strengths from other cultures. And I think it benefits the kids. And kids are the building block of any society. So if you really nurture them properly, you are going to have a very good community to come. Because later on, these kids have to work together when they're older. So it goes cross boundaries. It could be an African American working with an Asian, or a white American.
We represent America in a very microcosm, which is St. Louis. How do you get to that bottom line? You need to be there. So you need to be open.
I feel like that open-mindedness, and I feel like people who are closed-minded are missing so much. That there's just the cross-fertilization of ideas is, like, to me, what's exciting about life. And in order to have that, we have to talk.
Some of the difficulties is bringing the two cultures together and learn diversity. This helps reduce the awkwardness and understanding between two different cultures.
People can expect to get straight talk about diversity and whether it works or not, and why we need to change the structure and approach to diversity in order to engage more people. We've also invited the Urban Bush Women. Urban Bush Women are based in New York, and they are a very well-known dance as well as training company. And the specific workshop that we are going to bring in is called Entering and Building Community. And so that is completely relevant to the approach that we'll use. In addition to that, we're working with the International Institute that will provide a workshop on how immigration is changing St. Louis. In fact, it's changing America. And that's going to bring out a lot of implication about what we as arts organizations and social service organizations might do in order to capture those changes and turn them into innovation. So there's lots of great workshops. One last one, which is very important to me, is that we will do a poverty simulation. And the reason we're doing that is because of the 350,000 poor people in the region, and the fact that we're not seeing enough of those people in our audiences, in our organizations. They are still basically isolated in many, many ways. So we hope to make some changes there too. This is more than just a conference, it's a campaign. St. Louis, we want you to get hooked on cross-cultural engagement.